Hi guys, it's Chris Delaney from Employment King. I'm here with Cheery from Essentials. Essentials, by the way, is going to have a new YouTube channel, so start looking for that. It's going to be really, really good. We're going to chat today a little bit about how networking can advance your career, or what you can do at networking events to advance your career. So, what's your first thought, Cheery?
Yes, networking is great for finding your next job, your career move, advancing in your career. And one of the most easiest things to do is visit your local trade shows in related to your industry. So visit any trade shows, any exhibitions, seminars, networking events. Make sure you go for them. Most of them are free. Sometimes you pay a bit and just go there, network, you familiarize with people, names of organizations, and yes, companies and people working in the industry. So yes, one of the simplest things to do.
What happens at career networking events is everyone goes there, there's potential like 10, 20, 30 employers, and everyone's basically trying to sell themselves. And they do the hard sell. And often you can do a better technique, or a technique that I like to use, that will build rapport and get people to naturally want to know more about you. And I call it listen, ask, and expand. So what you tend to do is, or what most people tend to do, is go down and go, oh hi, I'm Chris, I've got 10 years in this, here's my CV, please interview me, or hopefully a better version of that. But what you want to do is go up to people and ask them questions, ask the employee questions about their sector, about things like technology, like are they taking on that new technological system that might advance their sector, or are they bidding for a certain tender, or are they thinking of expanding? Ask that person questions to get them to talk and talk and talk, and keep asking them questions to get that conversation going. People feel really empowered when they're being listened to. It builds really, really good rapport, and it shows that you've got interest in that person and that particular sector. You're not just trying to get a job.
Yes.
And then what you do, you listen to what they're saying, and then you repeat it back to them. You summarise what they're sort of saying, and then you add to it as well. And this is a clever bit. So you listen to them, get them talking. That builds loads of rapport. You repeat what they're saying, summarise it, and that gets them agreeing with you, nodding towards you, shows that you listen to them. And then you add extra stuff. Do you know about this other new tender that's just come out lately? Or do you know about the way you can use that technology to advance a different part of your business? Or have you thought about expanding into this particular market? And it doesn't really matter if they have or haven't. It doesn't really matter if they care about that particular piece of advice. But it shows that you've got this expanded knowledge. So you're listening to them, building loads of rapport. You're summarising, getting that conversation going, and then you offer them extra stuff. Especially when that extra stuff can affect their profit line or generate different ideas. And what you'll find is they'll start asking you questions about your experience, your skills, and what you're currently doing. And it's at that stage you go, here's my business card, or here's a copy of my CV. They ask you for it rather than you trying to pull it on them.
Yes, yes. It's about that 80-20 rule where you spend 80% of the time listening to what they're saying and just paying attention to what they're talking about, the details, and then you spend 20% of the time once they're finished pitching in your ideas together with how you can potentially help the organization as an employee,
Yeah.
or with your experience, or with your maybe it may be something as subtle as visiting them once for a meeting, some consultation work, and then follow that up with getting a job.
Yeah.
So use that 80-20 rule where you spend 80% of the time listening to them and then 20% of the time pitching in your idea or yourself or your work experience, or it might be even your company.
Yeah.
So yes, it's kind of like the elevator pitch.
Yeah, definitely, but just done in a conversational way. Another thing you could do, this is getting like to the dark side of like, trying to get people to like you. Because we've got social media now, and you tend to know what companies are going to be at these networking events. You tend to know which people are going to be at the network events. It's the HR or the manager, whatever. It's dead easy to find out. A lot of networking is about rapport building. Cheer on one of his videos was talking about the way to build rapport is to have commonality, interests that are like share between you and that person. And you can literally go on stuff like Google Plus, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. See which people are going to be at these events. Research what their hobbies and interests are. And you can even with some people, especially on like LinkedIn profiles, you get an idea about their temperament and their personality. Some people are really organised, some people are really, really creative. You can bring all that into the mix as well. So when you're meeting people and you're using that, getting them to talk, listening to them, repeating things. You can do that on like hobbies and interest thing as well. But as you sort of do this business bit and you get chatting, because they like you and they're talking to you, they're asking for your CV. It's then easy to turn that conversation to like what you're doing at weekend, or you can use that conversation so they ask you that question, and you might just bring up that you're a canoeist. And lucky enough, that person's a canoeist as well. It doesn't mean you have to be an expert in whatever their hobby is, but if you show an interest in something they're already passionate about, they'll start talking about that.
Yeah.
When people talk about something they're passionate about, they feel really good naturally about themselves, and that's associated subconsciously with the person they're talking to.
Yes, absolutely. Once I came across this lady who's fluent in Spanish, and that's those kind of things. Well, I was going for an interview to meet this. She was my interview, so I went through her LinkedIn profile and noticed that she speaks Spanish fluently, and something that she's done a degree on or something. So it's things like that. If you can identify, and if you can relate to that in some way, that's great. Goes a long way.
Yeah, and then like loads of conversation comes out at network events and even at job interviews, especially in summer, people always sort of say, "Oh, are you thinking of going away this year?" You could be like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about Spain." "Oh right," and then you get this conversation going.
Yeah.
It's dead. It's such an easy technique to use. So I thought that was useful. So basically, the takeaways from this are
Check out your local seminars, conferences, trade shows in your industry, and make sure you attend them.
yeah.
And
Ask the organisation or your potential interviewer loads of questions, get them talking. It's all about 80-20.
yes,
And then they'll start asking you questions and we wanting to see your CV. And remember, when you ask them questions, when it's your turn to talk, give them extra stuff, so extra ways that they can make money, extra ways they can create new business, even share your contacts with them. If you give them loads of stuff for free, they'll want more, or they'll know there's more to come, and that's when they ask you for your CV.
yes. If you can throw in a few names,
Yes.
any contacts you've come across, any people you met in other meetings or conferences, any of their competitors, even just throw in a few names there, throw in some of your competitors' products or what technology they're using, or the managing director that you met at a conference or whatever that is. Just throw in things like that. It goes a long way.
And loads of people think, "Oh, I don't want to share my contacts as an example, because contacts help me make money, help me in my current job." But what happens when you share loads of stuff, people think there's more. This is why when you walk down a high street, you'll get like, I don't know, like a chocolate shop, a chocolate delicacy shop, give you free chocolates on the street if you try it. You're like, "Oh, this is good," and it's free. What else is there? It's a real buy-in. Give people a free thing, they'll want more from you as well. So, all useful, guys. We'll see you at the next one.
See you soon.
Cheers. Bye for now.